when we saw you could see the contents and Big Pine and stuff today off in the distance, and it was off at that angle.
I saw that. I didn't know what it was.
That was the contents keys. That was Big Pine and the contents keys. It
was like what people say. Well, this is north and this is
It's like, oh my God, I don't know where it is, what's going on. So yeah,
that was, because my main worry, I knew we could survive, but I was just worried about getting that car submerged and have to pay for it.
Exactly.
My main thing though is not like necessarily, well, it might be an actual fear of the storm later on, but I think I've kind of gotten over that because I used to be so afraid, but that could come back. But the main thing, I'm not ready to think I hope not, but certainly hope not. But like the main thing is like, I'm so afraid something's going to come up, or I can't go because I got to do something else whenever that time might be. And it's like, oh, it's a perfect setup. And,
I know.
And I can't go because I have to. I'm
eventually it'll all gel together. Even
like even for a long time, I thought coming out here for spring break was a pipe dream thing.
Exactly.
Oh, it worked out.
Yeah, it'll come together sometime.
Getting in a real thick core of a storm is kind of nerve-wracking sometimes when you're here. Tornado warning in this county, that county, and is all around you.
Exactly.
Like, all right, is it going to come up around where I'm at? Is it wrapped in this rain I'm in? The wind starts coming out of the east real strong, then you get real worried.
Man.
Yeah, Roger Edwards and Rich Thompson were on that same storm we were on in 04, but the tornado was wrapped in rain, and they were driving southbound. They were in like 100-mile-an-hour east wind. And you can see this condensation in the rain whipping off the ground, and they thought they were done. I can imagine the conversation in that car.
Oh man.
Yeah, Rich Thompson and Bobby went on. We were on the 95 thing, which you'll see that that was fun. Because everybody has a different idea what we're going to do.
Oh, that was so funny.
Turn south, no.
Oh no, it was right.
Turn
Bobby.
around, turn around.
Bobby, go west. Bobby, no, go east. Turn right. No, Bobby, no. Stop. Just stay there. Just stay there.
Then Rich yells, "I don't want it to get in damaging winds." God, that thing was close by. It was about as dark as it is now. The video brought it out a little better, but it was right at, well, it wasn't sunset because it was an hour before sunset, but under those supercells, it's real dark.
And there's this one that Bill Reed has, and you're in his video. It's 96, and you're at somewhere in Kansas, and you're out there in your shorts, and there's this dust going everywhere. You get your legs sandblasted.
Oh yeah.
And then they're saying, "Oh, that's Jim Leonard." Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was that day after we had a tornado earlier, but then the rest of the day was all gustnadoes. And I was standing out there and filming. I wanted to get the full effect, and this one came right over.
I was telling him the other night, it's like when we were in Gilbert in Mexico, we're in the north. I've never been to this town before in our lives, and I'm sitting there filming this side, and he's gotten out of the car and he was filming, and I turn around and he's gone. And I'm like, where's Jim? And I get out and I start looking for him. He's in the surf. Like, the waves going by. I'm like, what are you doing? We're standing in the water.
I want to get the full effect. You got to feel it.
Exactly.
All the debris and poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what Martin Licious used to say. I want to touch the
I guess he's still doing his tour this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, from what I understand. I think Bill's still doing his.
Oh, he's still working
Actually,
with
the picture on the website for Tempest Tours is pretty cool. It's got all the guides, and they're all wearing like the shirts in front of the big beefy vehicle, and they're all like,
"Oh, really?
We're badass."
Oh, really? So is it Brian? Let's say it'd be Brian and Bill and Kenny.
Yeah.
Oh, so Kenny's actually.
But there are like
tour
5
guide now?
people in the picture. I can't remember who.
Oh yeah.
Who else in it,
Oh
but
shoot. Who are they?
Anyway, it's kind of weird. It's like you turn to that page like, yeah, these guys know what they're doing.
These are the badasses. Well, I've been telling people to go there. If you want to go, Tempest
Yeah, I
Tours.
recommend them or Cloud9 usually. Whenever people ask, I'm like, now there are a lot of bad tours out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you ask.
It'd be fun to go with Kenny Adams. So he'd break into song.
I can imagine how many tours are out there now. I haven't checked lately, but there's
Earl in his
they
truck.
just come out of the
Yeah,
woodwork.
Earl's Tours.
Earl's
Tours. He's got a couple lawn chairs in the back of his pickup truck.
Well, when you go
Sure, I'll
online,
take
and
your-
like, it'll say, voted #1 storm chasing tour by who? By
Yeah, I
who?
know. You're always
And you're alone.
Well,
we're the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
like,
get tornadoes every day.
rated
yeah, even
official storm chasing. What?
So what's happened to Roger Hill these
Yeah, I noticed the pictures of him at the last conference. He looked like skin and bones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he was wasn't he trying to lose weight, or is he ill?
I know he had a heart attack a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he looked good after that. This is like 6 years ago.
Because I'm gonna die. You know, I just wanted to get east and like get out of
Yeah,
the.
that was the day that I went to the airport here. You know, the night before it was a plus.
Oh, and that's right. You
yeah.
couldn't get out because
I couldn't. American
somehow
Airlines
you're
pulled
flying.
one of their maintenance problems.
Ah.
Yeah, driving all the way to the airport to get a 7 o'clock
Oh, I
flight from the
remember that.
Keys is not fun. You know, because you have to get up at 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So, you know, and the night before I saw, you know, I picked like Great Bend was my target area.
Yeah.
At a plus 16 EHI, something off the scale. You know, I said, God, if something goes up with that, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I didn't look
I was
at
sitting on the
anything,
edge of
but I
my
was
seat
mad
all that
because I was
afternoon, watching the data coming in. Okay, maybe maybe not going wasn't so bad after all. And Martin called me about mid-afternoon. He says he flew into Denver.
Wow.
And he was blasting in Kansas, and he said, these clouds are all eroding away, nothing's happening, and blah, blah, blah. He said, this was a real bust.
Yeah, a lot of
Then a
people
couple
did not see
of
tornadoes.
hours later, he calls me, he's watching this sucker. He's coming up on the damage track, you see the cows laying off the side of the road, and, you know, talk about explosion.
Yeah, I just had no desire to chase at night. So.
Because he's got some really good shots. I don't know if you've seen them.
I think I have.
In the lightning. That thing is
It kills
so
me
wide.
I mean, did you watch the Storm Chasers show with Josh Mormon and? Don't get me started. But anyway, it just makes us all look so stupid. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I've heard.
But they didn't. They were nowhere near Greensburg, and I mean, I wish they had succeeded that day because the data from that would have been incredible.
Oh, I know.
And
they probably would have had the coordinates backwards again.
Not really, did they?
No, there was one point in the show where they had like rebooted or something, and they were like north was south and south was north, and they were going the wrong way.
It's like, you don't have GPS plugged into this? How do you have north and south? How can you possibly? So I was thinking about it. It drove me crazy.
I haven't
How
seen
would
much
you
of
write the
those
software
shows in a while.
get that
I don't watch it.
I don't either. Well, they come on when I'm working at night a lot of time anyway.
You know that Jesse
Comes on
Bassett
all the
posted
time
on the Ultimate Chase Forum that they had that webcast or whatever with Jay Barnes. I don't know if you've read that, you know, his books. He put together these compilation books of Florida's hurricane history and North Carolina's hurricane history. So, and I had them, and I was like, I listened to the simulcast or whatever, the broadcast, and then I'm going back and I'm like, I remember these books. There's something odd about them. So I'm going back and I'm looking through them, and this guy has, I mean, you know, it's great that he's got all this compilation together, and they're really great books, but he has no background in like anything meteorological, especially with and I'm like reading these things and it's like 25 degrees north longitude. I'm like, north longitude. Okay, I'm like, okay, now I know. It's like, okay, take what you read with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah,
Well, I heard David Scott were applying to be on Storm Chasers. Do you know if they got in?
What's that?
I heard David Scott were applying to be among the 5th crews because they're looking for more people this year to film.
Oh, you mean that Sean?
That show.
That show.
That show.
Oh, I didn't know
that's
that.
Talking
Yeah,
about
with
they're
Sean
looking
Connery
for other.
and- What's
Yeah.
the vehicle?
They were looking for, I guess, additional people to follow around.
Yeah.
And
Next
Bill
season.
was
Well,
the one
and
who
I
told
guess-
me they had applied. I mean, I
Really?
don't know, but
Well, we also
I don't
heard
know
that they
if
do nudity, so.
No.
well, there was. I mean,
Increase
there
their
was a
audience
funny.
quite a
Did you
bit.
guys see it at all?
No, I
Not,
I
no,
can't
have you
believe
seen
none of you
God
saw
They
it.
Nude? Okay.
Because there was a funny episode where it was near the end, and you know, Sean Casey. I mean, he is giving all of us a bad name, but he'll do anything for the camera.
Of
He'll
course.
say anything.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is a great character for a
Right.
television show. And there's one point where they're in some shitty hotel and like they can only get one room, and he insists on sleeping in the nude, and like he has to
You're
share a
kidding.
bed with his
Oh,
co-pilot,
Lord.
and the guy's like, man, I can't do this.
I can't do this. I can't do
And he's
this.
like, we'll put a pillow between us. It'll be fine. It was just hysterical.
What they'll do for ratings.
No.
Another instance of I would take the man behind the Motel 6 and beat him. And then halfway through the show, I was telling Chris, no, I'll take him in front of the Motel 6 and beat him.
I would be rich if I had him.
I know,
Talking
exactly.
your ass.
And they're serious about it, I'm
Who
sure.
had the video of the flying like mobile home or something, and it was like hurricane or something, like Cat 3.
Oh, there was one. It was a typhoon. I remember seeing that.
Got
Yeah.
your Big Dipper coming
It was
out.
in Japan.
There's one where it's rolling over
mobile,
in the parking
mobile
lot,
home
yeah.
flipping. It was flipping down the street and then ended up flying into the ocean or something.
Yeah.
That's
I think it was. I think it was a typhoon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly.